We all have stories to tell about data privacy, and maybe in some cases it almost seems, they're becoming jokes, right? I searched on lawnmowers and suddenly I'm getting all these advertisements. But the reality of the information that is collected on all of us is quite frightening. So first of all, by way of introduction, I have spent the last 25 plus years in high tech. I have started a company, grew it, took it public, and so I've had a front row seat working with some of the top technology companies on the planet. And that has been a wonderful journey, but it also has been enlightening now as I watch the industry change and pivot itself a bit, because now technology companies are not just tech companies. They are advertising companies. They are data brokers of all variations. So why this bill and why now? One of the things I love about tech, that excites me about the future of technology, is the opportunity to potentially cure things like cancer. Let me explain just very briefly. We're living in a time right now where the convergence of three distinct technological forces are coming together. First, you've got big data. Nothing novel or brand new there. We've been collecting data for a long, long time, but we can do it now faster than ever before. Artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence, AI, is simply a computer's ability to think for itself. And now you add and layer over quantum computing. This is the most aggressive, fastest processing power on the planet. Those three things, when fed with enough data, using the right AI algorithms, I believe in my lifetime we will see the cure to cancer. We will solve some of the planet's toughest challenges as a result of those good things. However, we also are facing potential challenges now as we move forward with some of that great capability. Companies now can collect information on all of us in places that maybe we didn't necessarily appreciate that they were actually doing. For example, in our homes, we live now in a world that is IoT rich, Internet of Things. Your refrigerator is a smart device. Alexa's in your room, right? You've got your phone in there, your smartphone. All of these devices have the ability to listen, to collect information, and to transmit. And again, when used properly, it's a great thing. When not used properly, it can be detrimental, certainly to people. So I am of the opinion, certainly, that data now is the most valuable asset on our planet, right? It exceeds the value of gold, silver, you name it. Data is what everybody is after. And knowing what somebody is doing with your data is vital. So the data that my bill, the bill that I have support on here, is meant to address is focused on what we call in the industry PII. Personally identifiable information, right? If it's generic and the data collector doesn't know it's you personally, that's a different story, right? We collect data in ways all the time that can help us in managing road traffic and all kinds of different things. But when it's personal to you, I believe that it is reasonable for a Wisconsin resident to have the expectation that that data is private, that it cannot and should not just be randomly shared or sold to the highest bidder. We're talking about information at times, folks, that is information about conversations you're having in your home with your spouse. I had a conversation with a young gentleman recently talking about, newly married, planning a family, right? Having some fertility issues, some challenges there, doing a little bit of their own home research and looking things up online. It is a reasonable expectation for this couple that information, that conversation is held private. But if you've got a smart device in that room, it very well may not be. And miraculously, you're going to start receiving information in the mail on all kinds of different fertility products. This happens in various examples all the time. Google, one of the largest search engine companies on the planet, right? They wonderful things, provides great value to us all. It's a verb these days. I mean, it is so good. But it is also collecting information on where you go, who you're with. And much of this information can at times be sold and shared. So without regulation, I believe we are doomed. We talk about election integrity. We talk about things that matter to us. I'm telling you right now, folks, that if we don't address this issue, those things will only get worse. Because once a data collector applies AI and they can start to predict, they know it's emotional to you, they know how long you stay on certain images and when you move on, they can start to manipulate you. It happens all the time. We need to stop it. Now, the bill does three simple things. First, it allows you, the Wisconsin resident, to ask a data collector, hey, what do you have on me? What are you collecting on me, right? And in certain cases, for example, with loyalty programs or things of that nature, fine. I maybe want to know when Quick Trip is having a great special on their coffee. Fabulous. I would want to know that. But there are cases where you would not want some of your information collected and or shared. The bill does the second part. You can say, to whom have you shared or sold it? Where'd it go? Who's got it? Because maybe I said XYZ company, I'm okay if you collect the information because it's a loyalty program, but now you've sold it to 3 other companies. I should have a right to know that. And third and finally, it's really simple. Stop, delete it. I feel a little bit violated, right? So you need to stop what you're doing right now and give me right over my private information one more time. So I'm excited. I'm very excited. I'm optimistic right now that Speaker Vos will help me facilitate bringing this thing to the floor yet this session, and Wisconsin will join 3 other states. And I believe you're going to see it explode. There's going to be so many more states doing this. And for those who say, well, the Fed should take this up, okay, help me and show me where the Feds are getting anything right these days and are able to accomplish anything, and I'm all in, right? But the states are still the great incubator of innovative legislation.